Hey guys, this is yakobako. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a 1-year review on my Kyng 500 watt solar generator. Alright, let's go ahead and jump on in. Like I said, I've owned this for a little bit over a year. I purchased this last March because I was going to be living and traveling out of my vehicle, and I needed something not only to charge my devices, but to make living in a 95 Honda Civic a little bit more comfortable. I purchased this off of Amazon, and at the time it cost me roughly about $300. I know you can find these online right now for right about $200. Getting into the features of this product, the first thing you'll see right up top is the LED lamp. The switch for it is right here on the left side. This thing does not drain the battery, so you could run that thing for days on days and it would barely drop a few percent on this battery capacity. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the LED battery capacity light. When turned on either on the AC or DC side, you will see LED, it projects. Right now it's saying 100%. This kind of jumps around a little bit because they are lithium batteries and you're not going to get perfect reading, especially depending on the temperature and humidity of the area you're in. So this side you'll have 2 slots for USB 2.1 amp and 2 slots for USB 1 amp. I generally go with the 2.1 amp for the quick charge for my cell phone, but every now and then I do like to do the slow charge just so I'm not shortening the battery life of my devices. Next thing you'll see right down here is some 12 volt DC slots. Now these do come with a few little adapters that you slide into here to where you can connect your DC objects to. I've never had to use those before because that's just not what I bought this for. Now right here you'll see some slits on the front of this device. This is actually the output for the fan. On the other side there is an input, and that is to cool the device down while it is running. Down here at the bottom is your power/fault light. So whenever you're charging the device, that should be green whenever it's completely charged and red while it is charging. If you have a power fault, there's actually a fuse on the other side I will show you here in a minute, but that light will start blinking red if you have a power fault and you will have no access to the device. The next thing you'll see is the AC charge down there. That is, of course, if you're plugging it in through an AC charge, and then you'll also see the solar charge, and that, of course, you guessed it, is if you're plugging into solar charge. Go ahead and flip around to the other side of the device here. Start off at the top. You'll see the AC switch. Also up here at the top, you'll see this AC input fuse. That is the fuse I was talking to you about a second ago, and I can't get it with my fingers, but if you stick a knife or suggested,ly a Phillips head and you unscrew that, there is a small glass tube fuse, which are very cheap and very easy to replace. For the whole year I've owned this, I've never had any issues with the fuse busting or anything like that. My favorite thing about this product is the 3 AC outputs. And my reasoning for this is because I live in South Texas, and as I was explaining, I bought this because I was living in my 95 Honda Civic. This Honda Civic did not have a working air conditioner. I live in South Texas. These summers get 100, 110, 112, and the humidity is usually 90 to 100% all summer long. So it's hot, it's humid, it's sticky, and I needed something to plug fans into. I wanted to purchase a tower fan and an oscillating fan so that I can just have a little bit of comfort while living in my car. My second favorite feature of this item is down here in the bottom left, and it is the solar/DC input. Now there is 2 adapters for this. One of them plugs into the DC plug in your vehicle to where you can just plug it straight into the lighter, and the other one connects to any standard solar panel connection. The reason I like this feature is for 2 reasons. One, I can plug it into my car while I'm driving, and 2, if I decide to stop and camp somewhere for a few days, I can just have it on the solar panel. Moving on to the next feature we already talked about a little bit is the fan. Now this is the input side of the fan. Like I showed you, the output side of the fan was on the other side. This just keeps the device cool. And then you have, lastly, your AC input, and this is where you can plug it directly into your AC socket into your house. My first issue was about a month after buying this product, and it just stopped working on me. I didn't know what the issue was. I started getting upset and cursing myself for buying a cheap Chinese product from Amazon, but within 30-45 minutes, it magically started working again. The second time this product gave me issues was when I was outside of Junction, Texas, traveling on foot, and I had this in my backpack. It was at about 30 to 40% battery life. We had been traveling for about a week at this time, and when I went to pull it out of my backpack to charge my phone, it wasn't working again. I do not know why it wasn't working. So we walked into Junction, Texas. I plugged it into the first place I could find, and it started right back up. And other than those two issues, this box has been a pretty good thing for me. Mainly I was just using this product to charge my devices and to run my fans and occasionally a small portable heater. This device is not going to run large appliances such as a refrigerator. You're not going to be able to run a TV all day long or your gaming system all day long. But for a few hours, yes. When I was using this specifically just for my 2-fan system living in my car, I had an oscillating fan and I had a tower oscillating fan. And I would run these things anywhere from 6 to 12 hours on 100% charge. 6 hours being on a day where I don't get good solar charge from my solar panel, and 12 upwards to 14 hours if I have a nice sunny day plugged into my solar panel. I could run 12 to 14 hours with 2 fans on there. This thing is exactly what I needed, and it is capable of everything that I needed it for. If I were to rate this item, I would give this 4.5 stars. It's only failed me twice, and it wasn't a permanent failure. It usually lasted about 45 minutes before being able to reboot. It is not very costly, and it's pretty weatherproof. It's pretty durable. I've dropped it a couple of times, and it hasn't broken or anything like that. I've gotten weather conditions on it. As you can see, it's covered in sand. It's been rained on a couple times, It's durable. It's not very heavy, but mainly because this thing has exceeded my expectations. For someone who's going to be traveling by backpack, I would not recommend this. I did carry this, like I said, in my backpack for over 150 miles on foot. And it's not that it was uncomfortable and heavy, but it took up too much space in my backpack compared to a lot of the smaller battery packs that you see hikers and backpackers carrying with them on their adventures. I have never heard or seen of anyone carrying one of these things, but like I said, I didn't really have the choice. I didn't have the money at the time to buy something smaller, and this is what I had at hand, so I threw it in the pack and hiked my 150 miles. So if you're somebody who is living out of your car, you need a little bit of power to run some fans or a heater, power your devices up, maybe run some lights, play your games, or whatever you want to do, I would highly recommend this, especially when coupled with a solar panel such as the Renogy 100 watt that I had purchased to go with this. So you can essentially have an entire solar system for under $500. Under $500 for an entire solar system? I'm not passing that deal up. On the other end, if you're someone who has higher needs, maybe you're living in a camper or an RV, you want to run an air conditioner, you want to run a fridge, you want to be able to run these items for longer. Maybe you're not too worried about the whole solar, you don't mind spending a little bit extra on some gasoline here and there. You don't mind having a little bit of extra weight because you have the space, you have a larger living area. Then maybe I wouldn't recommend this item to you. I would highly recommend a gas generator in that circumstance, simply because they produce more power for the dollar. You can get 11 to 1200 watts for about $200-300 online or even in some stores. You can spend the same amount that I spent on this product and instead turn around and buy a gas generator You don't have to buy the solar panel to go with it. Yes, you have to buy fuel and you have to keep it maintained and do the oil changes on it once in a while. But in the end, a gas generator is always going to give you more power for the dollar. If you want to go with some elaborate, gigantic solar system, yes, you can produce the same amount of power, and in the long run, over years and years of using it, you're going to save money because you're not purchasing fuel and oil and doing the upkeep on the generator, like I said. But it all just depends on what you're looking for. If you want something you're going to invest years and years and you want to put that money into, then yeah, go for a big elaborate solar system. If you're somebody who wants to spend a moderate amount of money, doesn't mind doing the upkeep, paying for the fuel, go with gas. And if you're someone who's like me, or someone who just likes to go out, spend some time in the cabin, go out in the woods, have something to be able to hold power, maybe just keep around the house for emergency situations, then this might be the product for you. So kudos to Kyng Power. You can find them on Amazon. I will link it in the description. Right now, like I said, this thing goes for about $200. I paid close to about $300 a year ago. Do some research though. I'm not suggesting you buy this specific brand or model. This is just what I purchased because it met my needs, and like I said, it exceeded my expectations, so I'm happy with the product. If you are happy with this review and you find that this is something that would work for you as well for the same kind of situations, or even a different situation, then yeah, I suggest purchasing this. But if you're someone who wants to find the best of the best for your buck, there are better items out there. I did see better options online, but it all came down to my personal preference of what I knew I was going to need and what amount of money I had to work with. So do some research, look around on the internet, watch some more reviews about different products, and figure out what would work for you. If y'all have any other questions for me, be sure to leave them down in the comment section. Like the video if you enjoyed watching my review, and always subscribe. I'm going to be putting out more reviews, such as on my running shoes, my trail shoes, my everyday carry items, along with my firearm. I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews while I'm not on the trail. And then also I'll always be putting out videos of me out in nature on the trail, setting up my stuff, and of course camping trips. So if you're into that kind of stuff, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you know when those videos come out. And that is it.